Hello and welcome to my second screencast. So following on from that initial screencast where I highlighted how you go about creating a meeting using the Adobe Connect software, what I'm going to do now is, for the purpose of anyone who once they've created an Adobe Connect meeting, is just some key tips on how you'd go about ensuring that the setup's all right for when your meeting takes place, it can run as smoothly as possible. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get yourself logged back into the Adobe Connect software. So once you're logged in, you're back on your home page and you can see quite clearly here all the meetings that you've got scheduled. Okay, so quite clear, it's a case of selecting the meeting which is applicable. So for in this case, I'm going to go for the England Badminton ACE meeting that I want to be running. Just before we proceed any further, what I would advise all hosts to do is, prior to any meeting starting, so for example if your meeting was due to start at 2:15 p.m, I would encourage you to get yourself logged into the meeting around about 15 to 20 minutes before. The reasons being we're going to go through now is it just enables you to get certain things in place to hopefully when it comes to when all your participants will be arriving for the meeting, everything's in place and you can hit the ground running and, like I say, have an extremely successful meeting. So you click on to log yourself in, you click on and open that meeting. You can see there my England Badminton meeting quite clearly there, so that's the meeting that I'm in and opened. First thing to check, okay, the fact that you are the host. So I can see on the side here that Tom Gale is the host, okay, so that's what I want. I'm the person who's going to be controlling the meeting. It does give you the option to switch between a host, a presenter and a participant. Please do not do any of these. Look to ensure that you are the host, because as I say, that gives you the maximum control of controlling how the meeting will run from here on in. The next thing, hopefully as you're aware, the reason we're looking to use Adobe Connect is the unique visual and audio software that enables us to create these meetings online. So the first thing you need to get yourself get sorted is the fact that to enable all your participants or anyone who comes into the meeting to hear you. You do this by hovering up to the microphone you've got at the top there in the middle, clicking on the drop down and connecting your audio. And by doing this, as you can see, my microphone's beating away, you see the volume there. What it's done now is the microphone or the headset, whatever software that you're using on your machine, computer, laptop, has now been connected with the Adobe Connect software. So anyone coming into the meeting would be able to hear me clearly. If this hadn't been connected, there'd be complete mute silence. No one would be able to hear your voice as the host. The next thing, as I said, need to consider is the visual aspect. So during this meeting, do I want my participants to see me? If so, you need to actually start your webcam. So it doesn't happen automatically. You need actually to start sharing your webcam. Okay, so as you can see there, by clicking on those options now, my face is presented, so when participants are coming in, if I do want them to see me throughout the meeting, I'm actually sharing my webcam, so it does give them the option. Okay, so once that's in place, people can potentially see you, they can most definitely hear you. It's just about making yourself comfortable. You can see the layout. You've got obviously your sharing screen, so this is what you'll be sharing with anyone attending the meeting, your video, your attendance details, so the host and list of participants as they come in, and your chat box. This is the standard structure, but it doesn't have to be this way. There is room to, you can move your chat box, you can make your sharing screen bigger or smaller. It's completely up to you, but as long as you're comfortable with the layout, how it's all going to be functioning, you're pretty much good to go there. Next thing to need to consider is, once participants start arriving, what is it you want them to see? And depending on that, you need to be able to click on the share your screen options, and clicking down here, it gives you the various options. So if it's sharing your screen currently, so if it's maybe this current look that you can see through me sharing that, if it's a PowerPoint presentation, an internet browser, you can do so. But for all participants to see this, you do need to be able to share your screen. Once your screen's been shared, you're up and away. The only thing I would bear in mind to consider is, if you want the meeting to be recorded, you need to select that process. So that's done by going to the meeting, clicking on record meeting. Option gives you a title. If you're happy with that, click OK. Your session is being recorded. You can stop recording at any time, but you'd be safe in the knowledge, once this is all up and running, that your meeting's being recorded everything's happy, you're underway and you're all set for a great meeting.